So my first open house ever, obviously newly licensed agent. I'm thinking I'm going to be a luxury agent. I have this open house in La Jolla. It is a mansion. I mean, I did my order ahead of Einstein bagels and Starbucks coffees. Go to get in my car, stick the key in the ignition, and it won't start. So nervous, honestly, puddle of sweat. I mean, let's be honest. That Uber shows up. He will take me. He took pity on me. So
Love it.
Load all my signs, load the bagels, the coffee, the mimosa bar, the fruit.
Oh my gosh.
And so we're driving down into La Jolla, and I'm making him stop at all the corners on the way. Like, this is a good corner. This is a busy corner. I want to put my sign here. So
That's kind of a good idea.
I mean,
to have someone drive you around.
Yes. Like, do you know how hard it is to get in
To
and out of your
park
car?
and then-
Park.
yeah.
Put your flashers on. Get your tailgate open or whatever car you're driving. Run across a busy road. Like, we risk our lives for these open house signs, people. Okay, I loathe it. Like, anyway,
it's terrifying.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Behind the Lockbox. I'm Stephanie Zalowski here with,
Cameron Barbier.
and today we have Kelly Miles with us.
Hello.
Hello, love. So Kelly is with our very own brokerage Compass, and we are actually in the same mastermind group, which is how we met. I don't think we were at Compass. You've been there for quite a while, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think about 5 years.
Okay, yeah. We've only been 3 or 4. 3? I think we just had our 4th.
I think 4.
Couldn't tell you. Anyway,
Neither. I don't know.
You've been in business the same amount of time as me, about 8 years, and I know you have some stories for us. So Kelly, welcome to Behind the Lockbox.
Thanks for having me.
Also, thank you so much for making today work. She rearranged a hair appointment to be here.
Oh, that's nice.
You know me.
Yeah, you would never.
I don't move shit for my hair appointments, mostly because my guy can't. He's just, I mean, it takes months to get it. Like, I book myself, I only see him like 2.5, 3 times a year. And so I book out that far in advance.
Yeah.
And like, I was trying to switch an appointment recently and they're like, okay. And I was like, nope, I'll keep it. I need it done before the holidays. Like, just keep it. Like, I mean, it's just, so your hair looks beautiful.
Well,
by
thank
the way.
you.
You're welcome.
I really didn't think that was going to work out, but I was like,
didn't
I'm just
either.
gonna
And you're
throw
like,
it out
oh
there.
my God, she can do the morning. And I'm like, great. See you at 3. Like, it was perfect. So
The stars aligned.
I know. Thank you for doing that. So, okay. When you walked in, I was like, okay, tell me a little bit about like, and you even just were like, we're going to have to probably do a part 2 with you because like, I think you just have so many good stories, but let's start with, what was the first one you were saying?
So the first one I was talking about was my first open house ever.
This is so good. And it's just like, you were saying, obviously, even before we started recording, like so many people show the glitz and glamour of real estate. So let's show what it's really like. Yes. And I love that this was your first one. I don't love it for you actually at all. But anyway, okay. So tell us what happened.
So my first open house ever, obviously newly licensed agent. I'm thinking I'm going to be a luxury agent. I have this open house in La Jolla. It is a mansion. I mean, I'm going to pull out all the stops. So I got coffee and I got bagels and I got a mimosa bar and I
remember those days.
Yes.
Oh, I wish I would have come to this one.
I kind of do too.
Well, it would have been great to have you. So I did my order ahead of Einstein bagels and Starbucks coffee. So I pull into the parking lot. Prepared.
Yes.
Over prepared.
Yeah. Well.
So get my coffee, have my little treats, have my bagels, go to get in my car, stick the key in the ignition, and it won't start. So I'm about 30 minutes away.
And I would say, I would venture to guess that you're already maybe a little
frazzled.
Yes. Like
so nervous
because it's your first open house and like you want it to be perfect. You want people to think that you've been doing this for years. Like,
correct.
You know what I mean? So there's already nerves built into this day.
Right.
And then your car doesn't start.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. So nervous, honestly, puddle of sweat. I mean, let's be honest. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm 30 minutes away from my open house. I have to put my signs out. I have to get all ready. Mm-hmm. So I call an Uber. Mm-hmm. The Uber shows up and he's like, so you want to put those signs in the back of my car, my open house signs? And they're like metal frame, you put them out on the street.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. He's like, no. He leaves.
What? Wait a minute. People put luggage and suitcases in cars. People bring dogs in Ubers. Like, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
Rude.
I know.
Very rude. So I had to call another Uber. That Uber shows up. He will take me. He took pity on me. So
Love it.
Load all my signs, load the bagels, the coffee, the mimosa bar, the fruit.
Oh my gosh.
And so we're driving down into La Jolla, and I'm making him stop at all the corners on the way. Like, this is a good corner. This is a busy corner. I want to put my sign here. So
So,
That's kind of a good idea
I mean,
to have someone drive you around.
Yes. Like, do you know how hard it is to get in
To
and out of your
park
cars?
and then-
Park.
yeah.
Put your flashers on. Get your tailgate open or what trunk, whatever car you're driving. Run across a busy road. Like, we risk our lives for these open house signs, people. Okay, I loathe it. Like, anyway,
It's terrifying.
It's
No,
terrifying,
yeah.
depending on where it is. Like, some neighborhoods, it's like out there, you're like, okay, whatever, you know. But like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Also,
So
this is getting really expensive.
well, yeah, because
the most expensive open house ever. And mind you, it's not my listing.
remember what
I'm
it
not getting paid on this.
it's just a disaster.
Yeah.
Do you remember what that day cost you?
Oh, well, we haven't finished the story, but
Oh shit!
we're,
Okay, keep
yeah.
going, keep going.
going.
So now
Over
you have a
$1,000.
full on.
Yeah.
What?
yeah. Oh my God, done with the story.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
You have a full fridge driver dropping you off. You're like, okay, this is kind of nice, but this sucks, and now I'm sweating, and I'm
Yes.
late. Okay, so
Yeah.
you put out your open house signs.
So out with the signs.
You're like, can you come back
show
and
the
pick me up
house.
at 4 p.m.? Like that'd be great. Yeah.
Right. I mean, he was like very nice about it, but by the time you put out like 15 signs,
It's like, get the F out of my car.
Also,
first open house, I had all the signs.
okay.
Now I know why he didn't want to pick you up the first time.
I know people are not going to think this is funny until you've actually experienced it.
Horrible.
I never use that many signs now. Like,
No.
I remember I have a over-signing property for you and one to tell you when you're done with this, but 15, it just screams newly licensed. Like,
Newly licensed.
oh my God. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're 15 signs deep with this guy. Great,
Correct.
great. Uh-huh.
Show up at my La Jolla not listing, holding somebody else's listing open, mind you.
I wish it would have been ours. Like,
I have so many
Wouldn't that
questions.
be great? I don't even remember whose listing it was, but
you've traumatically blocked most of this. Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
Like, how many bottles of champagne do you have?
clinking around in the trunk.
I think like 5.
And like,
I mean, it was mimosa bar time.
what about your cups? And what's it have to hold your fruit?
What's the fruit-free cut? Where is it in a bag?
Like, handle it.
So again, first open house, I cut the fruit myself the night before. I stand fit till like 3 in the
Oh
morning.
my God, you're the cutest.
I know you are the cutest. Like,
So overzealous.
now we show up with one flyer. We're like, here.
I wouldn't even do this much for like having people come over to a party at my house.
Never. Never.
She's like, no, and trust me, I've never cut a piece
No.
of fruit again.
No. If I will even do an open house now, which is like it better be 5 million plus.
Or my listing that I'm trying to impress my client, which I'm doing one this weekend, and I'm like, oh God. And by the way, I told you I left my team, and I still have my old open house signs. So Dickens and Clark team, you're gonna get some free advertisement this weekend because they're on order, but they're not here yet. Anyway, okay, so you get to the open house. This guy is like, get the out of my car
Yeah,
with
could
all
not
of
be
your
more done
champagne
with me.
bottles and cut fruit.
Yeah. So I'm like 5 minutes late for the open house, which I think there's going to be like a million people waiting out front, like
a
ready
line
to
out the
knock
door.
down
It's
the
gonna be
door.
Black Friday, a line out the door, busting down. Okay,
Right. Yeah.
And is anybody there?
So no one is there, which is weird, but you know, like who wants to be the first at the party? So
for sure.
I'm like,
Sure.
I better still rush and get this all set up. So I am in a puddle of sweat. I run into the house, champagne bottles under arm, coffee, bagels, all the things. I'm like setting it up. It has to be beautiful. It has to be
Yep.
perfect. I am the world's #1 agent.
That's right.
I sell luxury real estate in La Jolla. So I get it all set up and I'm like, that's funny. And so I'm like searching online. I'm like, it is posted, right? And it's like, yeah, like Redfin, Zillow. It's like,
It's
you know,
up.
open house 1 to 4, Saturday, Sunday. I'm like,
Did you
okay.
have flags on your signs too, by the way?
No flags, but back then I did have my portrait on my signs.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. So like everybody knew Kelly Miles is holding.
Compass
She is
classed us
there.
up a bit with just black and white, which I appreciate. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, this was pre-Compass, so yeah, I had the headshot.
Yep.
So the only person that that did show up to the open house that day was not a person, but a cat that wandered into the house.
I thought you were going to say your mom.
But she probably drove by.
She was like,
cat was
Kelly,
probably like,
She's doing great.
you're doing great, sweetie. She's honking and driving by.
Just a cat.
Oh my God, the cat smelled the cut oranges and wanted some.
so no one came to my
No
open
one,
house.
not
Kelly,
one.
Not
one?
a single person. So at
Was this house like overpriced, or you just don't remember?
I mean, I'm sure it had been on the market for like a few months.
They're like, you look like you could hold this open. Go for it.
I mean, it was like grossly overpriced. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was very expensive, which
Yeah.
is also why I thought, I
You
need
did
to pull
the
out
right things. You
all
did the right things.
Yeah,
but
all
we,
the things.
we would
At
never
least you
know
could put the
because we're jaded.
champagne in your house.
She drank it all before the open house ended.
Well,
anyway,
I was a brand new agent, so I ate bagels and fruit and
Yeah.
champagne for the next 2 weeks.
that's right. You did because you had
Perfect.
no money coming in. Yep.
Correct. And so then I called another Uber and I loaded the signs into the back and went back to the parking lot, which also was a pay lot, unless you got it validated at Starbucks, which only validates
One on
for 30.
Regents.
The one on Regents.
No.
So I think I had to pay like $80 or something. I can't remember.
After all of that,
And I had to call a tow truck.
Okay, let's break down the cost of the day. You preemptively cut fruit the night before.
Correct.
You bought champagne at the store.
Correct.
You ordered bagels. You ordered coffee,
Yes. Orange juice.
orange juice,
Uber
napkins.
drivers.
Uber driver, napkins, plates, a platter. I'm assuming you had to go to Target and buy something pretty to put it
Correct.
out on, right?
Cups.
Was it
Flyers.
live Edgewood? Anyway, flyers. You had an Uber to and from,
Correct.
plus a tow truck and a pay lot.
And it wasn't just to the house; it was to put signs around. So that was probably an extra.
They're like, how many stops do you want to add? She's like, 15.
yeah.
Every 3 blocks.
Yeah.
Add a stop here. He's like, okay.
It
Like,
was a really expensive day.
oh my
You
God.
poor thing.
Yeah.
I'm glad you can laugh about it now. We're not laughing at you.
At
We are
you now.
laughing with you because
I know you feel my pain.
girl.
Oh, that-
like,
Yeah.
Not real estate, but my first interview for a job at post college.
oh my God. Didn't you tell this story recently?
Probably it was horrible.
Oh, no,
Pretty
what
much the same
happened?
thing. I mean, it was for a law firm, and I wore like a wool dress, and it was like ended up being like 85 degrees in LA, and I parked in some parking lot, and I went like 30 minutes early to like see where I was, and I couldn't find it.
Oh no.
So I go up the elevator. I'm in the wrong building. So I have to go down the elevator, run across the street, go up this other elevator. Now I'm late. So now I'm profusely sweating.
Of course.
And I do the interview and it's all fine. He's like, okay, can I validate your parking ticket? I'm like, sure. But like, I have no idea if this is for the right building. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't know where I parked. He's like, well, let me take you to your car. I'm like, I'm okay. No, I'm good.
Right?
And he's like,
Stranger danger,
like,
stranger danger.
yeah.
Right.
He's like, no, let me take you. Like, that's ridiculous. I'm like, okay. And so, long story short, I'm beeping my phone or my keys, and it's still not going off. We have to get in the security cart and drive all up and down all the aisles looking for my
For
car.
anybody who knows Cam, this is so Cam.
It is very me.
This is so Cam.
We finally find my car, and he's like, can I have a ride back to my office? Like, you're so far away. And I'm in college, so obviously I have like bottles clinking in the back of my car.
Cam, did you get the job?
Nope.
Builds character.
Yes.
Meant to be.
Thank you.
Maybe he was a nightmare of a boss. Last week's episode showed us that come from abundance, right? So like it wasn't gonna work, or you were just a disaster and probably still hungover. But anyway.
Yeah, one or the other.
Oh my
anyways,
God,
I feel your
that's
pain.
Such a good story.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Oh, I
Now
was
it
gonna-
for the podcast is.
Well, yes, it is. And I was going to tell you. So speaking of signing, okay, I did an open house for an agent in my brokerage. This is when we were still with Sotheby's. And I've done open houses for her before. I'd worked with her before. And she has a specific farm here in La Jolla. And she's like, okay, Steph, like, you want to make sure you sign it really well. And when she said that, I was like, oh, don't worry. I have like 15 signs. Like, I will sign the shit out of this property, right? So I'm doing the open house and, people are coming through. It's an older community, the area that she farms up. It's like Alta La Jolla area, if you know that.
Yeah, of course.
And, some people are coming in and out and I'm kind of getting some looks, and I'm like, okay, like people are very friendly, but all right, whatever. I've never told this story and I don't know if we were on the same team at this time. And in walks the listing agent, and she's like, "Hi, can I talk to you for a second?" I'm like, "Sure. Is everything okay?" She's like, "How many signs did you put out?" And I was like, "Well, you said to sign it really well, so I put out all of them." She's like, "What's all of them?" And I was like, "Well, I have 15 or 12 or whatever I had."
Yeah.
12. And she's like, "Yeah, so the HOA president just called me. You need to go pick them up because I literally had them."
Like in people's on their front.
No, but like, you know, when you enter some of the Alta La Jolla communities, I had like a sign here, a sign here, a sign on the median, and then a sign at the end pointing. And then at the other entrance, a sign pointing. And then at like each like end of the community. And then as you're going on the sidewalk, and she's like, "So can you take like half of them down?" And I was like, okay, sure. You know, and I'm trying to like, I'm only like 6 months, a year in the business at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm like, get in my car, putting my signs back in. I'm sweating. I come back in. She's like, "I'll stay here while you go do that." And you know, you just get this look of like I literally thought I had disappointed. Like it was, yeah.
I mean,
They're just signs. They're not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
It felt very dramatic, but I was like gutted about it because I just wanted to do like a good job. And then offline, I have another story for you about this stuff. Anyway, it all makes sense now, but I was like, "Oh, well, anyway."
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah, but
you're also like helping their property value.
Yeah.
So like,
I thought I had, but like, I mean, when I went out and looked, I was like, okay, I guess I don't need 4 signs on this street corner, and I had flags as well. You know, whatever.
I mean,
I tried.
Bird Rock. I mean, they're like the worst.
Have you had signs stolen
over.
in Bird Rock? Is that still happening?
Thrown in the ocean, found
yeah.
on the shore.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm like,
Run
okay.
over by a car, thrown in the middle of the road. There was like one particular guy that was doing it, remember?
Oh, yeah.
And we had to have like, we had some listings down there back in the day, our Camino listing on Camino de la Costa. And like we would sign them not in the rocks, like, but in the middle of the roundabout.
Yeah.
And that guy would flip. I mean, he was
did
in
it
the
in the
La Jolla
roundabout,
Light.
too.
Well, first of all, nobody walks in the roundabout, you fucking idiot. Whoever
Good
this
point.
asshole was out there, I hope he hears this because I don't think he's still doing it, but it was in the La Jolla Light. Like, I mean, people were
was
like,
insane.
people were texting me being like, "I just saw him throw your sign. I have to run out there and go get it." We found stuff in the garbage, in the dumpster,
Yeah.
I mean, it was so, and by the way, that's destruction of property. So like,
Right.
I think he did actually end up getting in trouble.
Oh, did he?
I think it finally
Good.
stopped. I haven't done an
haven't
open
heard
house
any
in Bird
stories.
Rock in a year. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've heard stories. We'll have to ask if anyone knows. But we were purposely putting them. Nobody goes in you can't walk through the roundabout. The cars go around. Like we were putting them in the middle of the roundabout, pointing to be out of the way, and he would go and throw them in the street.
Right.
And
What
I was
happened
like,
to him?
I don't know.
You know,
hopefully-
like something. No, I mean like before, because to do that to signs is a
I mean,
little
it's
aggressive.
only a few hours on like
It was
a few days
insane.
a week.
And I can
Why
see
are
like
you
those
so
sidewalks
personally
are more
offended?
narrow. So for bikers and pedestrians to have it in the middle of the sidewalk, get it.
Right.
But when you're putting it next to the sidewalk in the rocks or in the middle of the roundabout where nobody walks, it's literally, I mean, in the actual, not, you know, in Bird Rock, and for people who don't know, there's like the roundabout. So you drive around the roundabout, but then there's also a median where you can cross through.
Right.
But there's a crosswalk through the median, so they would be on the median where nobody's walking, and he would still go, and like it was insane. Yeah. That was awful.
Yeah.
I forgot about that guy. That guy's
Yeah.
anyway, I'll tell you
wonder
how I
if
really
he's still
feel.
around.
Hopefully not. Anyway. Okay, you have one more story because this one might be a little bit long, but it has to do with not purchasing things while you're in escrow, correct? You briefly mentioned that. And we just had our lender, Scott Schwartz, on a few weeks ago.
Oh.
And we talked about this because he had a client who went to for Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And in order to sign up for t-shirts or get a free t-shirt, he was signing up for all these credit cards.
No.
So what happened to you?
I mean, that's honestly just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh.
With the situation. But yes, as you were saying, I always tell my clients, you know, if you have a loan for buying a house,
Right.
like try not to apply for credit cards, buy a new,
Don't
car.
start buying furniture. Do not buy a
Right.
new car. Do not switch jobs.
Right.
Don't do any of those things.
Right.
Yeah.
You need like your credit solid. Don't mess with your debt to income ratio, all of that.
Yep.
So we have that conversation. We go to see like the first, round of houses. He shows up in a new BMW. The next time I see him, he shows up in a new Porsche.
Oh.
So I'm like, remember?
We're up. We're
Yeah.
He's upgrading himself here.
Yeah.
Like majorly. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, is that like a different car? Is that a new car? He's like, well, I need one for like the kid and one for like weekends.
Oh, me too.
Is he very same? I also need a Porsche for the weekends.
Yeah.
Is he uber wealthy? Like,
so he wants the world to think so.
Yes.
oh, well,
Look.
I mean, I
Yeah.
would say if he's getting a loan,
Yeah.
but then driving a Porsche, this is during COVID where money was free. That's a red flag.
Right.
Anyway.
Right. So
Hood rich, as I like to call it.
hood rich would be accurate. Like he's doing fine for himself. He was able
He's
to
stretching
buy.
his money, leasing a Porsche, but it's fine.
Right, exactly. So we end up finding this house in Bay Park. We get into escrow.
It was a
Great
house, not a condo. Okay.
House, not a
Can at least
condo.
afford a single family. Okay.
Yes. So we get into escrow. We go to do our inspections, and as soon as I walk into the house, I smell gas.
Ooh.
And I'm like, oh, well, that's not good. So our inspector comes in. He does the gas
Some people
test.
can't smell that. I'm actually super sensitive. I'm super sensitive to smelling gas.
It might just be real estate.
We are
We're, like,
so
trained in that
immature
now.
it makes me super nauseous. Like I actually, total sidebar really quickly, my grandma's house almost literally blew up.
No.
We were visiting her, rest her soul, this was like 4 years ago before she passed. And it was the holidays. And I told my mom she had a swamp cooler. She lived in Tucson. Like it was a really, really old house built in the 50s. And I was like, Mom, I smell gas. My mom is sensitive to that, obviously they give it an odor. So when there's a leak, right?
Right.
And I was starting to get lightheaded and nauseous. And my grandma's like, I don't smell anything. Like, I don't know. And we called my uncle and we're like, I lived here. My parents lived up in Phoenix. We were just visiting at the holidays. Long story short, the gas guy came out Monday morning and was like, this is the biggest gas leak I've ever seen. And the fact that your house did not go up in literally like an atomic bomb is shocking. Like the fact that it did not catch fire and blow up, I was like, I knew it. So anytime I even get a whiff, I'm like, it freaks me out because so much could go wrong. So you walk into this house and are you in escrow or you're just showing it?
We're in escrow at this point.
Okay. And you walk in to do inspections, and you can smell the gas coming from somewhere, which sometimes a burner's left on. I don't know, whatever. Right. Okay.
Right. So the inspector comes in, we find out that it's a leak behind the oven. So the gas connection.
Yep.
So I call
the other living in this house.
Yes. A whole family.
Oh.
Behind the Lockbox is sponsored by Property Showcase Group. Property Showcase Group has a team of creatives, directors, producers, editors, marketing specialists, and designers that work in tandem to tell and share stories of the built environment. Whether you're looking for full-service production or simply just in content creation, Property Showcase Group can help take your business to the next level. To learn more or to contact Property Showcase Group to schedule a consultation, you can find them at propertyshowcasegroup.com. That's spelled PropertyShowcasegroup.com. PropertyShowcaseGroup.com. I'm back to talk about our sponsor and producer, Property Showcase Group. This is for all my agent and affiliate friends out there. Property Showcase Group has a special offer for you. The first 3 agents to email Property Showcase Group at teampsg@propertyshowcasegroup.com will get 1 month free of social media management using code LOCKBOX. That's right, 1 month free. And they're offering 20% off your first video production using code LOCKBOX. For more information, contact Property Showcase Group at teampsg@propertyshowcasegroup.com, and don't forget to use code LOCKBOX or mention this podcast.
Yeah, mom, dad, little kids,
and
whole family.
No detectors were going off.
No detectors were going off. They never sense like you're saying, like your grandma.
People just can't really smell it, and I
guess
am
not.
so sensitive to that smell.
Yeah, I am too. So I'm the same as you.
Yep.
So I called the listing agent who was not there, and he calls the seller. They're worried about it, obviously, because the whole family lives there. Yeah. So he's like, I'm going to have my plumber come out right now. Like, do you mind waiting?
Yeah.
Whatever. Mm-hmm. So no, they did not turn off the gas at this point. So my client, the one that got the BMW, got the Porsche, now he's got the house that we're in escrow on. He decides this is a great time to take off his shirt, light up a cigarette, and go tan by the pool.
Excuse me.
No.
Yes.
Why did he need? Oh, because he was taking off his shirt to go so he took this opportunity to just like enjoy the space while you're
Right.
waiting for the plumber.
Right. The plumber is coming for the gas leak.
Also, can you please not light any flames anywhere
Correct.
near me?
So while he's still like walking out of the house, he's lighting up a cigarette. He throws off his shirt and he goes and he lays by the pool to go get a tan. So I'm like, hey, like you might not want to smoke right now. Like, you know, there's a gas leak. And he's like, you worry too much. I'm like, okay.
All right.
All
Also,
right.
you may want to put on a shirt because this is not your house yet.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, but you know, trying it out. Due diligence.
Was he nice to look? Was he nice to look at?
Not my type, but
Oh, yeah. I was hoping there was some sort of happy thing here. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're like, cool.
Yeah.
So, you know, Harry John is sitting out back smoking a cigarette and you're waiting for the plumber. Awesome.
right. So I decided it was a good time to like get out of the house, considering like he's lit up in the back and there's a gas leak. So I go out front. I'm going to wait for the plumber out there. So I guess he gets bored of tanning in the back. He comes around to the front, lights up a cigarette out front. The plumber shows up. He asks him for a cigarette. The plumber smokes too. So my client and the plumber are both smoking in the front and they're there for a gas leak.
Okay. First of all, on a real note, disrespectful of time.
Right?
Second of all, I'm not standing here all day while you two,
Yeah,
whatever,
shoot
shoot the shit and smoke your disgusting habit cigarette. First of all, I'd be like, I can't stand cigarettes.
I can't either.
The smell, and then the gas.
Yeah.
On the, oh my god,
Can you smoke it after you fix the leak?
Right?
please?
I guess the
Can you
plumber
go
was
smoke in
waiting
your
for
new
the seller
Porsche?
to
Like,
come.
get the hell out of here.
I don't know. Anyways, so he fixed the leak. You
So
know, he
finally, the
leaves.
plumber puts out a cigarette long enough to go fix the leak. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yes. So that's that. So then we negotiate like amazing concessions for my client. Like,
Oh, wow.
I got him like $75,000.
Whoa.
They paid off the solar. They gave us a credit towards the roof. Mind you, this is like a fully renovated, totally fine house. This is 2013. The market was great.
Wow.
There was no reason for them to do this, but I somehow convinced them to give my client like $75,000
Good for
in
you.
credits. Yeah. And you guys know, like, that's unheard of.
Right.
That I just tried to get 35,000, and it's the biggest one I've tried to do,
And that's
it,
huge.
It did not go well. We got 10.
surprised.
We got 10.
But 10 is huge.
10 was
10
I
is
mean, it
huge,
was
yeah.
like, it was roof and termite.
Yeah.
And I loved, actually, the agent was just on a couple weeks ago, Aggie Carpenter, up in Oceanside with Compass.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, because the roof was really, look, it wasn't technically leaking, but like it was on its last leg for sure.
Yeah.
And there was massive like 10 grand worth of termite work is actually
Oh, wow.
kind of a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Subterranean. There was wood damage. And so I was like, we're not, she has to pay for that. Like, and I ended up giving my sellers a credit for roof repair of $2,800. And they're like, we'll fix the roof in a year. It's fine. But like
Yeah.
a new roof is expensive when
Very
it's
expensive.
Spanish tile, like the whole thing. So it wasn't like we were nickel and diming 35,000. Like it was literally the cost of the roof and the cost of the termite damage is all
Right.
they were asking for. So yeah, but that's a big credit.
It's a big
Even
credit.
10 to 15 is a big credit, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway,
good
75
job.
grand.
This
Which
story's not over.
oh god. Oh god.
It should have
Why?
been like, you know.
It should have been done right then and okay.
So somehow it was missed that he owed $150,000 in back taxes to the IRS.
What
Oh.
your client, your shirtless, cigarette smoking, Porsche, BMW lease driving client owed $150,000 in back taxes,
To the IRS.
and the lender didn't catch that.
It got like it slid through initially and then they caught it in underwriting.
That's what the underwriter's for. I used to do underwriting. Yep.
Oh, there you go. So all of a sudden, we have to rework the whole loan. The whole deal almost falls apart. My lender like works overtime, pulls off a miracle. We piece it together. He has to like set up a payment plan with the IRS.
Wow.
And he didn't know this.
He said he didn't, but
We don't believe him.
we don't
believe him.
No,
Please. It's not like they're like,
Okay,
just give it to
pay
us whenever. Yeah.
right?
No big deal.
So pull off a miracle, do the final walkthrough. Then we are a day before
I'm scared. I feel like
I
it's still
know.
not over.
it's not over. It's not over.
It ain't over till the fat lady sings, people.
All contingencies are removed. Like,
That means earnest money has gone hard. Mm-hmm. Okay.
yeah. And they gave him a huge credit. Like, so there wasn't anything that he brought up that they didn't provide like a solution for.
Which is phenomenal.
Amazing.
Phenomenal. That never
Amazing.
happens. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then it's the day before closing and I get a text and he's like, meet me here. And he sends me his location. And it's a restaurant in Little Italy. He doesn't live in Little Italy, by the way. He lives in Mission Valley.
Of course he does.
Of course he does. So I said, well, aren't you like signing your loan documents today? Like, shouldn't you be wiring your funds to close? Like, aren't you busy? And he's like, just get here now. And I'm like, as if I don't have other things to do,
Ew,
right?
I don't even like the way that he. Yeah.
No, it wasn't a fun one. But I thought the whole deal was over. We're one day away from closing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I show up and he tells me that he's going to cancel. And I said, but contingencies are removed and you got a $75,000 credit. They're paying off the solar. They're giving you a credit for the roof, termites, all these things. They fixed the gas leak. What could you possibly be canceling for? He said, my past real estate agent found out that I was buying with you. And she filled me in that the market isn't great and that you're selling me this house. And I'm an idiot because in a few months, I'm going to lose $300,000 in equity. So I'm better to just...
she has a crystal ball to call out 300,000 exactly.
Exactly. And so he said, I'm going to cut my losses. I'd rather lose my $50,000 deposit.
No way.
Than lose $300,000 when the market crashes in a few months. 2013 or 2023. So like a very good market, right?
Oh, it's 2023.
2023.
Okay.
Yeah.
The market only tanked in 2007 and 2008
Yeah.
because we had a lending crisis.
Right.
And I would know because I contributed. I worked for Countrywide, but I didn't know what I was doing. I was a drunk college kid. So
Yeah.
what the hell?
Right.
Wait, but what did you guys cancel for? Because
He lost his deposit.
he just.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's just walking away from it at that
just
point.
He
He's
said
just
better to
canceling.
lose 50,000, and I tried to talk him out of it, and he was like,
went
"Thank
through
you
How
for
much
the
is
time."
how much is that house worth now?
Wait for it. So it does go back on the market. Very difficult call to make, by the way, because what am I even saying?
Like, and that
we
looks
had
so
no
bad
reason.
on you, even though that had nothing to do
So
with
much
you.
work, and they like gave us so much. They were so nice about
But you know
it.
what? Also for them though, they just made 50 grand.
They made more. Goes back on the market, goes pending 1 day later, sold for $100,000 over what we were pending at. So they made $150,000. And that house is now worth way more. The market didn't crash.
No, for everyone listening,
I want you
shocker.
to send him
Have you
that house now and be like,
or did he ever reach back out to you? Did you? Okay, so when you left, when did you speak to him again, or have you never?
So that was very traumatizing. I mean, that's a lot of time.
Yes.
That's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Like, deals are crazy, as you know, but that was just like
that's just.
so draining, and I didn't make a penny for any of my work.
Okay, let's talk about this for a
Yeah.
second. So this podcast is not for us to out clients or anything like that.
No.
This is though what we do want to talk about, and what we do educate the public is that once again, there are many people out there, especially with all the NAR stuff. They didn't know how we got paid. They didn't
Right.
understand how we got paid. They also didn't understand that we could go 6 months with a client and not make a single penny.
Right.
If we were able to bill the way an attorney bills,
Oh my gosh.
we would be sitting doing this podcast on my oceanfront mansion right now. Okay?
Yeah.
If I billed for
Totally.
every email, every text message, everything I sent, no one would be able to afford to buy a house from an agent. Like, it's
Never.
insane. The work that we put in and the hours we put in, and also some of the abuse that we do put up with. And I use that word very seriously.
Yeah.
I've had some abusive clients in the past. I no longer work with those people.
Right.
I make a conscious effort not to do that. And we are humans. We are not your doormat. We are not your maids. We are not someone to just be, there are people out there that I think like to with agents. You know what
for
I mean?
sure.
And it's
Yeah.
not okay.
Yeah.
And so, not only were there red flags with this guy, but you're in it at this point. And
Right.
we have a sick thing about us in this business where she doesn't, because she is a business manager and just is like, I don't know,
guys are crazy.
her husband's like, she tells us all the time, like, you guys are insane.
Yeah.
But like, we just want to see it through. you know, like I'm like, I've come this far, I didn't come this far to only come this far, like I'm gonna see this bitch through.
Right.
And like, but then there comes a point where you do have to kind of cut the loss, right?
Yeah.
And so if I were you, I also would have never spoke to him again, because there's also that chaotic energy that like doesn't align with who I know you enough to know, that doesn't align with who you are. It doesn't align with who I am.
Yeah.
We're in this business to help people.
Right.
And like, that is insane behavior.
Yeah.
It's insane behavior.
So I did talk to him one other time.
Okay.
I got a text actually like a few months ago. So over a year after, and he apologized out of the blue.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. But then a few weeks later, I saw that he put that condo that he had on the market. And I feel like he was trying to, you know, test the waters, see how things were. But at
To
least
see
he
if like
apologized.
maybe you would
I would work
what
with
did
him
you
again.
write? What did you respond?
I just said like, you know, like it's okay. Like
Great to
time
hear
has
from you.
passed.
Hope you're
like,
well.
hope
Leave it at
all
that.
is well.
Yeah.
Your loss.
I did inform him of how much the house sold for, and I just said, I hope now you see that I wasn't lying about the market, and like I did have your best interest at heart. And he said that he knew that. So that's, I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, that's all I'm looking for. Like I'm a very honest,
And
like
who
trustworthy
knows
person.
who this other agent was? Maybe that was a lie. I don't know. Maybe that wasn't the case, and he was
Who
just
knows?
was he like, did he drink or anything, or like
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, you'll never know, to be honest. And, you know, I've had clients like that waste my time and then come back and, you know, say like, I'm really sorry. Like I even had clients, like I told this story briefly. I still talk to them today and I love them very, very much. And they're actually, I think, going to be selling here pretty quickly. But I was helping them and they were first time home buyers. They truly did not understand the process. And people have said to me, like, how did they not? They really didn't. We had full conversations and I really adore these people.
Yeah.
They walked into an open house, a new young agent on some, I don't even know what team. They've never heard from him or talked to him since. Told them they really loved the house and they were going to call me. And he was like, the only way you're going to get this deal done is if you work with me. And
That's
I
so
can get you a
horrible.
better deal. And, you know, they said, well, we have an agent. He's like, yeah, we won't be able to give her what we can give you, you know, whatever he said to them.
Right.
And my lender had to call me and tell me they were in escrow with somebody else. It was like devastating. But I put on my big girl panties. Is that okay to say? I went over there and I brought them champagne and balloons and we've gone to happy hour. We've stayed in touch this whole time.
Yeah.
I really have a lot of love for them because she called me and was crying and profusely apologized and was like, and I'm like, look, you need to do what's best for you. They were a Zillow lead. I met them on Zillow, but I had been with them for a couple months looking at
Right.
places, you know, but guess who's going to get their listing now? Not that guy, because,
No.
you know, so it's like things happen to us. And
Right.
when it's the right client and and they mean well and they just, you know, things happen, it's okay. But when it's people who are chaotic and are wasting our time and are rude or disrespectful in many ways, more than one, taking your shirt off, smoking a cigarette in a pool, like it's not even your, like
crazy.
you're just like, you don't even respect my time. Like, and then, you know, and so that can be what is really challenging about this business, but
Yeah.
good for you.
I just can't believe you were one day away.
I know.
That's crazy.
That's people people will hear this and be like, how can you just walk? I mean, this happens though.
Yeah.
It does happen
Too often.
Too often. It's
Too
never happened to
often.
me yet, but it does. It really, really does. And I mean, I could never walk away from that kind of money, but okay.
No, it's a lot. I felt bad for these people. They had a different situation, but I had another family cancel their escrow and lose their $50,000 deposit the next week.
What?
And that's the only time I've ever had that happen in
You're
my
like,
entire
what's
career.
happening?
Wait, the next week after this one happened?
And so after these 2 times, never again.
I basically was like ready to leave real estate.
Yeah.
It's like
Between the open house that went awry, 2 deals canceling,
Yeah.
you're like, I can't do this.
yeah.
I know.
Because it's not even just those deals that I didn't get paid on. It's all the other people I could have worked with. I mean, especially when you're a solo agent. I mean, there's only so many hours in the day. You can only work with so many people. And I think people they don't see how much time and effort we put in like behind the scenes.
And I'm really starting to have those conversations. And
Yeah.
I think again, your vibe attracts your tribe. And
Right.
I'm really focused on that these last couple of years and really wanting to work with clients who value my time, respect me, have seen what I've been able to do,
Right.
and who know it, you know, and it goes much better that way. It goes much more
Yeah.
smoothly. But things still happen. Like people still cancel, like, you know, whatever. Like things
Right.
happen. Like there's nothing you can really do about that. So, you know, it is what it is. But
it is what it is.
That's wild. Okay, let me do a time check really quickly. Oh yeah, okay, we have to go. Okay. Oh, I just closed a deal.
Oh,
Confirmed. Yay. Okay, cool. Anyway, all right, let's play a game really quick. And this might incite so we're going to ask you 3 rapid fire questions. I just get so excited. I can't talk. Maybe it's the deal or I don't know. It's called Punch List. So we're going to hit you with 3 questions. Just the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay. I'm ready.
What's the craziest or pettiest thing that's ever killed or almost killed one of your deals?
The pettiest. Oh God, I don't even know.
I mean, a crazy agent saying there's a crystal ball for...
I think there was one house in Mission Hills where there was a Bible thrown into the backyard and stuff. And so my clients were like, oh, what actually happened in this house? And it was a flipper that was selling it. And so I think that they got it in their head that it was
haunted, or they
haunted, or someone died
on the lawn, and they're like, oh no.
Yeah,
that's funny.
They
actually
ran with the narrative, so I feel like that's not funny. That's just
actually a really
random.
No, that's a good one though.
If we want to sabotage, just throw a
throw
Bible out there.
I mean, that's basically who knows who put the Bible there, you know?
That is kind of creepy.
It is kind of creepy. I'd be like,
is.
why is there a Bible just sitting out back on the dirt? That's kind of
that is kind of weird.
There was a confessional in the bathroom, though. It was a toilet confessional. So if you sat on one side, then you would open it, and then the priest would sit on this side, and then the other person would tell their sins on the other side. It's a bathroom confessional. I've never seen one before.
Never seen one before. I've never even heard.
Is that a thing?
I haven't seen it since, but
Did they just do that as kind of a joke, or did they say that
think it was
a
a
priest
joke.
really did come?
I mean, here's the thing. My clients may not have been wrong about the Bible.
I don't think they were wrong. I think exorcisms happened here. My mind is going crazy places.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Don't skip this next
Did they buy it?
Yeah, did they? No.
No, they canceled.
Because of that?
No.
Oh.
But, I think it was part of it.
Part of it,
Yeah.
What's the weirdest thing or situation you've ever walked in on?
The weirdest situation I've ever walked in?
Or anything.
thing.
Have you opened a house and been ugh, someone's naked in there?
I mean, I opened a door one time and a guy was laying on his couch. Off.
Yep, that could be one.
Am I allowed to say that?
Yes.
Wait, should we redo that?
No, that's great.
It was a renter, and so it was a house in University Heights, and so the couch was right there, and I opened the door, and he was like, ah! And then I just shut the door as fast as I could. Yeah.
No.
And I waited a few minutes, but felt like a lifetime, and then I knocked.
Are you done?
No, Kelly, no.
Yeah.
Did he walk out
He answered the door.
Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed for him.
Yeah.
You're I didn't see anything, I swear.
I said, I'm sorry, we had a confirmed appointment. And he's like, okay, I'll step out.
I'm dying.
Oh my gosh. I have secondhand embarrassment right now.
I'm not recovered. Okay. That's also going to be a reel, just so you know. So get ready to post that on your Instagram. I'm just kidding. I won't make it if you don't want me to. But
should we delete that?
That's a lot. Should I re-answer that?
No, that was good.
That is what this question is meant for.
Yes.
Whoa. That's, oh my God.
I've heard naked, but not that.
Yeah. I don't think, not naked. I mean, well,
yeah.
Waist down. Sure was definitely
he
on.
Watching something?
Was anything on? Kelly's I trauma blocked it. I don't know. I don't care. Oh my God.
The client hated the house. We were in and out in 5 minutes.
You're
you can go back. My life. You can, go ahead. Oh my God. Yeah. I left the TV on for you. Okay. Oh my God. So good.
Okay. If you could be anything other than a real estate agent, what would you be and why?
Oh God.
Anything
other than a real estate agent.
I said a country music singer.
Oh.
I can't sing. I just think it'd be fun.
I can see that for you.
Oh, I love that.
I love that for you.
Yeah, I do too. Everyone's like, sing me a tune. I'm like, no. I did karaoke for a cause. I was a guest judge this year.
Oh yeah, I did it the year before.
Yes, I remember. And they're like, did you sing? And I'm like, yeah, but luckily my microphone wasn't working. They're like, I think your microphone's broken. I was like, it's fine.
Don't worry about it.
I don't even remember if I sang. So
I said I wasn't going to, and then I got one drink in me and bullied up there, and there it went, you know? So anyway.
There you go.
Yeah. What would you do? Anything?
I mean, I think I'd be an actor, but I kind of,
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
I
really
studied
cool.
it.
Oh, very
Oh,
cool.
Studied
okay.
theater.
Okay. I could see that for sure. Yeah.
But I kind of already am an actor. It's kind of part of our job.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There you go.
Or I don't know, just be retired. I'm like
Yeah, that'd
tired.
be nice.
This job is rough.
Tired. I literally said that to someone the other day. I was like, you don't understand. I'm just tired. Okay.
So tired.
I'm so tired. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just tired. I know.
Yeah.
If money wasn't an object, I mean, I would still work, but
I would
do
too.
something fun.
Yeah.
But, you know,
But just like,
not this. I would podcast actually, probably.
Well, there you go.
'Cause it's so fun.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
really fun.
Yeah.
We're trying to make money on it eventually.
Well, I mean, call her daddy. Spotify deal was what, like
Father
100 and-
Cooper, are you kidding me? Like, obsessed with her and
So obsessed
aspire
with
to
her.
be her.
Yeah.
And yeah.
120 million, right? Her newest
wow.
deal.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Fucking
just
killing it.
How
Killing it.
Is it just like per clicks? Like, how do they even come up with that?
I'll tell you later. It's a long story. It's downloads. It's all of it. And then
Right.
it's, you know, all of the endorsement deals that come with that and like
Right.
the advertising and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So right now Max and Ethan are my little sponsors and I just love them.
Look at that.
He's just over there smiling.
Well, if people are already reaching out to you,
They
I mean,
are. It's going
yeah.
really well. It is a slow burn. And unless you have like,
Yeah.
you know, so many thousands of followers, like it's, you know, it takes time, but we're really growing. I can feel it. I was at an event 2 nights ago and they're like, are you Stephanie from the podcast? And I was like, oh my God, it's happening. I'm getting noticed. It was great. It was a good moment. It was fun. Yeah.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
it.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. I know people like, you came up on my For You page. People from high school have DM'd me and been like, girl. And I'm like, oh my God, hi. And they're like, you literally just came up. I'm like, that's amazing.
That is
So
amazing.
cool.
I'm like, did you miss me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
What would you do?
Probably something like with animals, like an animal rescue farm or something.
Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah.
an animal rescue
You know,
farm.
You know, like live
Yeah.
on. I don't know. I've always wanted to like do something like that, but
Yeah.
that'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. A farmer is another one.
A farmer.
Like, you know, like just like
Yeah.
buy some land in the middle of
Right?
nowhere.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Except I have a black thumb, so I don't know how well this would work.
You park in parking garages, spill Christmas cookies, and have a black thumb. But, you know,
Yeah,
it's okay. You
it's
can
a
have fun at
dream.
some point.
It's a
dream.
It's a dream. You'll get there. You'll get there. I believe in it. Anyway,
Dream.
thank you so much for being here. This was super
Yeah,
fun.
it's really
good.
I know you
Great
have more
stories.
stories, so we're probably going to do a part 2 with you.
Yes.
Down.
I like that. Okay.
Anytime.
Perfect. All right. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Please don't forget, follow us on Instagram at Behind the Lockbox. Please leave us a kind review. Otherwise, I'll delete it. Just kidding. And of course, follow and download the show. Thanks for listening. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Behind the Lockbox is produced and edited by Property Showcase Group. If you like this podcast, please share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, or review this podcast. Thanks for your support. See you next week.